Okay. Put a finger down if you worked as a CNA and you got one of your coworkers giving one of the residents fellatio. I'll go first. Story time. So, for those of you who know and those of you who don't know, I was in the medical field for 20 something years, on and off as a CNA and as a medical assistant. In all my years of being a CNA, I done seen some shit. Okay. This one takes the cake. So I had a particular coworker who would come up missing. Y'all have one of them coworkers that just be coming up missing and you're like, where this bitch at? Because I ain't seen her in hours. Well, that was her. She had came to the job drunk a few times. Like how she didn't lose her license, I don't even know before this took place. But hey, not my business, not my problem. We were working knock shift. If you don't know what knock shift is, it's overnight shift, okay? And we all get a hall, so there should be four of us on shift. Usually there was three. I think this particular night, all of us had our own halls. So I'm pretty sure there's four of us on, and our charge nurse, and then one other nurse. I'm pretty sure there's two nurses on. I can't. But anyway, so we're going to go do our rounds, and we realize her call lights keep going off, and we can't find her anywhere. We're like, what the hell is going on? We don't know where she is. Haven't seen her in a few hours at this point. I'm minding my business. Like I don't be looking for people. I don't babysit. I'm doing my hall checks. I'm doing my resident checks. My hall is way bigger than hers, so I have to handle my shit. So we're looking for her. We can't find her, and we decide to go on a hunt. So we start from the back part of the hall, which I wish we would have started from the front now that I know what I know. But anyhow, we started from the back part of the hall and went down each room. In each room, we're looking to see, we're calling her name, we're actively saying her name. It's not just myself, it is other people. So we're kind of moving through these rooms pretty swiftly. We get to the second to the last room. I go to step in the room. The room is pitch black. And the curtains, if you've ever been in a care home or hospital or anything like that, you know, the curtains can draw where it can separate the whole room just with the curtains. So the resident or the patient has their own private space with curtains. So she had the curtains completely drawn. Now, that's not normal, but it's not abnormal either because it depends on the resident. But for this particular room, it was not normal. And the curtains were drawn tightly around the room. So I enter the room, and right when I go to open the curtain, she comes busting out the curtain out of the darkness. Okay. She's sweating. Her hair's all over her face. She has camisole on her forehead. Now, if you don't know what camisole is, it is booty and ball and coochie cream. Okay? It's for when to help the skin not to break down in the bed or on the wheelchair or any of those things, or in their pull up if they're incontinent. That's what camisole is. Okay. She had it on her forehead. Her makeup's melting off her face. I said, "Ooh, girl, what was you doing? We've been looking for you." Oh, nothing. I was changing him. You was changing who? In the dark? It is pitch black in here. Pitch black. Midnight black up in there. Okay. I said, who was you changing in here? So by this time, my charge nurse is behind me and the other CNAs. Oh, she's stumbling over her words, fumbling over her thoughts. Ain't really gave us much of a story of what's going on, except for that she's changing this man. Hmm, I don't believe you. So she walks out of the room with my charge nurse and the other CNAs. I proceed to go inside the room where the resident is. And I find an elderly man that we take care of with his pants around his knees, and he's sitting on the side of the bed. Not only his pants be around his knees, his brief is too. His diaper, his depends, whatever brief, whatever you want to call it. I said, Mr. So and so, what you doing? He said, Oh, I'm not doing nothing. I was just sitting here. Where's that girl at? She was giving me a nice massage. Come again, sir. She was giving you what? She was giving me a nice massage. I said, and may I ask, where was she massaging you? And he said, oh, all right here. And he starts to show me on his thighs, honey. He starts to say she was rubbing all on them areas of his body. So I'm like, oh, well, she had to step out for a moment. Go ahead and let's get you cleaned up and let's stand you up. He was a little on the dirty side in his buttocks. Okay. And something just didn't feel right. And I get him dressed or get him ready for go back in the bed, clean him up, get him in the bed. I come outside and I go to my nurse's station now. I don't know where she is at this point. I don't think I think she got sent home or maybe she's on her break. I think she's on her break. I'm pretty sure she's on her break. So I go to my charge nurse and I said, something is not right. That girl was in there. Mm-mm-mm. She said, no. And I said, girl, why she got camisole on her forehead? Why is it pitch black in that room? Why did that man just tell me she was massaging his thighs and upper torso and lower extremities? She said, what? I said, he just told me that she was rubbing on him. She was in there doing some stuff she was not supposed to be doing. I mark my words. I promise you, that's what happened. And she said, Megan, I hope you're wrong. I said, I hope I'm wrong too, but that's what happened. You gonna find out. I said, did you question her? Yeah, a little bit, but she said she was in there changing him. I said it was pitch black, but okay, believe what you want to. So I was done. Now that was my Friday. I had 2 days off. And the 2 days, I think I even may have had 3 days off because it feels like it was a little, it felt like about 3 days. So I come back from my 3 days off. My charge nurse says, when you guys are done with your first rounds, everybody come to the nurse's station. I need to talk to all of you. And I was like, ooh, what is happening? She was like, nobody's in trouble. It's nothing like that. But I need to talk to all of you. And so we're like, okay. So we get to the nurse's station. She immediately turns to me and she says, Megan, you were right. I said, ooh, what was I right about? She said, that man's daughter came and picked him up the next day for a doctor's appointment, honey. And he told his daughter that he wants to make sure that he has the nurse that he had the last night because she comes in there and provides services for him that he enjoys. The daughter is like, Daddy, what the fuck are you talking about? So he began to tell her that she puts her mouth on him and gives him massages on his thighs. What? I said, I told you, I knew it. Everything about the scenario felt wrong as hell. That bitch needs to go to jail. Mm. She need to go to jail. She need to lose her license. She need to go to jail. That is elder abuse. That's crazy. Now, I'm a bit of a smoker, y'all. So I really do not remember what happened to this girl. I don't know. I'm pretty sure she got fired, but I don't think she went to jail like she should have. I think the family, I don't think the family pressed charges, which they probably should have. Not probably. I would have. All charges would have been filed on that hoe. But anyway, that's just me. That wasn't my daddy. But just y'all be careful. Be careful in these care homes. Be careful in any homes. Be careful in daycares. Be careful everywhere because people be on some bullshit. So that's my story time for tonight. Chronicles of a badass CNA and a queen. Life, love, and blessings.